Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So with module 25, we'll be getting a bunch of new gear, including mythic rings from the new trial. Does this mean that it's going to be outdating your Temple of the Spider, wherein we can currently obtain some of the best rings? And additionally, you could farm the dungeon to get the currency to buy like the Dark Maidens gear. So with module 25, we'll be able to get new mythic rings, but also mythic armor. And very fortunately, we're simply just going to upgrade the existing Dark Maidens gear to mythic, essentially exalting it. And so we'll cover in this video exactly what you need to upgrade it to mythic for the next module, and whether or not you should be continuing to play Temple of the Spider Master. Now, if you haven't got to the level of actually running Temple Spider Master, you should be getting your best gear right now from Dragon Slayer, from those ancient dragon hunts, all this mythic gear. From there, you can do your Temple of the Spider to get like rings like these ones for DPS and some of the Dark Maidens gear. Now, yes, the new mythic rings may replace what you've been using from Temple of the Spider, but for damage dealers at least, only really within the new trial. 10% damage against beholders, and then potentially this just to complete your ring set that would give 6% damage plus the 2% damage against bosses, or you could squeeze out some extra stats here then to gain the set as well, 2% damage against bosses. And that would only really be viable within, again, the new trial. There are some other rings here, again, like this one for tanks, but again, only specific for the trial. Damage resistance against beholders, and then healers, yes, could take this one, potentially this one, but I don't see them as such a game changer. Yes, as a paladin healer, I might very well go with this and this ring. But back to the Dark Maidens gear. You can originally obtain this gear in the North Arc Reaches store just here by farming the reagents within Temple of the Spider. You need those Cambodian gems, and then you need the brilliant gems. And you can see when you go, let's say, beat up like the first boss, that you obtain a total of 9 of those Cambodian gems, and that's guaranteed every time. And when you go to beat up like the last boss, you will also receive 9 more of those Cambodian gems, along with, of course, the second boss. So in total on a run, you get 27 of those gems. But additionally, every week, you can obtain a maximum of 3 of these brilliant Cambodian gems per character. It should be a guaranteed drop every time you finish a run, but currently it's still bugged that may not occur, that you don't get that gem, and so it can be a bit frustrating, especially with having a weekly cap of 3. And to obtain the Dark Maidens gear, originally you need like 3 for the head and arms, and then 6 for the armor and boots. So pretty expensive, along with a whole bunch of these just Cambodian gems, which you just need to be farming the bosses for. So you would buy the gear there. And then with module 25, we're getting Manzabaranzan, and we're actually going to be able to upgrade that gear. So I've done some bit of grinding, and I'm able to go ahead and do so. And you can see the costs right there. Very simply, you'll need another 500 of those Cambodian gems. So again, keep in mind, you're getting 9 per boss drop, 27 per run. You're looking at like 19 completions just to get 500 of those gems. Pretty crazy. And then you need this currency, which is these glyphs of warding. Now they very simply just come from doing some quests in this new zone. You can see we got these quests here, and each of these packs here would give me like glyphs of warding. Weeklies will give you 60, just standard repeatables will give you 12, small heroics will give you 10, and major heroics will give you 20. And so it's not hard to get those glyphs of warding at all. Then the next reagent is these Manzabaranzan mint, which also just comes from doing your quests. Again, you can see that there, like this standard quest here would give us 5 mint, and the weekly would give us 25. However, you are capped weekly at 100 of that mint per week. So again, looking back in the store, you will then also need 3 more of those brilliant Cambochun gems, meaning yes, you need to be doing your Temple of the Spider still in order to obtain those brilliant gems along with the normal gems to then be able to upgrade this gear if you wanted to. Of course, you will also need the armor piece originally that you obtained through the North Dark Reaches store. You need the legendary armor piece. You basically trade that in to then go and buy the mythic pieces, which we're going to do right away. However, just checking the costs again, you can see that it's exact same whether that's a arms piece, feet, head, or armor. And right now we're on a paladin, so we have a set for like tanks and we have a set for like healers. And what I'm going to do is upgrade them. So what I'm going to do is upgrade my helmet. And what you can see is the bonuses increase. Currently, it would only give me 10% divinity, performance, or soul weave, depending on what healer I am. And if I get it to mythic, it will give me 20%. That's a pretty massive increase. The item level, yes, will only go up by 50, but that bonus, the divine muse, is pretty significant. That would make it a big reason to upgrade it. And for the tag headpiece, you can see you're going from just 15% threat generated with divine word to 25% threat generated with divine word. I still don't think this is going to be any good. Okay, maybe slightly as an option if you're using the Manticore Bite elsewhere. So on a tank, I would generally run the rugged one. Has the Manticore Bite. It's really good for threat generation. But if you have a ring that has the Manticore Bite, like the Tanner's leather ring, you might get it from the auction house or Talisman Mage. If you use that ring instead of this helmet, then yes, you could use the 15% threat. And then you could upgrade that to give you 25% threat. The problem is when you compare that against modifiers like 800% threat and like 400% threat, 25% is like nothing. And then if you're a DPS character, I'll just switch real quick. You can see upgrading that headpiece will give you up to 3% action points whenever you get a kill. So it was normally just on 1%. Going to 3%, and this is Executioner's Zeal. Just keep in mind of that because the bonus is the exact same as you get on like the primal boots. These primal boots also giving you 3% action points on a kill, and so they will most likely not stack. I haven't confirmed that, but usually the case is that bonuses with the same name do not stack their benefits. So you would either run with the helmet or the boots. Your best bet is to run with the helmet because then that is 3%, just as much as you would then have with the boots, and then you can use alternative boots with much higher item level. And so let's move back again, because for every class then with regards to the armor, arms, and boots, the bonuses don't change. So the armor has gone up from 5% damage against enemies that are not facing you to 6%, and this both doubles in Underdark. So with the mythic piece, you can get a total of 12% versus just 10%. That is pretty good for especially builds that are already using this. Then the arms piece, which I think is terrible, is just getting a slight increase in its magnitude and its chance to trigger from 10% to 15% and from 150 magnitude to 175 magnitude. Still having a 15-second cooldown, which just makes it, in my opinion, pointless to use. I would use this if it had maybe a 1-second cooldown, or yeah, then it might be viable. Then the boots, you can see, also get an upgrade. So the power on them from the Spider's Bane goes from 4,500 to 5,000 power. So that's an increase of 500. And the bonus itself is also going from 5% to 6%. So yes, they again will be very good options, but only in Temple of the Spider, because you kind of want to use alternative boots than them just giving you a bunch of power. Because you will only gain the like 6% damage or 6% damage reduction or 6% outgoing healing when you are in specifically Temple of the Spider, which I think is sad. Personally, it should just also be within Underdark, and then you can use it in the new trial. So personally, as a DPS, I would take the armor piece and the head piece that gives you the 3% action points. For a tank, none of these are all too good except the boots if you're running Temple of the Spider. And as a healer, definitely go for the Exalted Maidens for the 20% extra Divinity Performance or Soul Regeneration. That is pretty big. Well, of course, I will have to test that specifically because, again, you get like diminishing returns depending on how many bonuses otherwise that you have that stacks that regeneration. And then, you know, you're going to be giving up something that's going to be boosting your heals directly, and that might not be worth it. So all things to considered, and I can't guarantee you right now that it will be best in slot, but you may see quite a lot of healers using it. And the damage one, again, specifically just for damage dealer. The boots, not so bad, but just Temple of the Spider. So right now, I would like upgrade the helmet. There you go, you buy it, and well, we'll try that again, but I'm pretty sure the error has to do with the enchantment that's being slotted in it. You can't exchange it until it's been removed. So basically we have to go to that headpiece, we have to go manage reinforcements, and we have to, what are we supposed to do here? We're supposed to remove it, and if we have a reinforcement equipped, we cannot upgrade it. That is ridiculous. That needs changing. Just be aware of that. If you obtain any of this gear, do not stick an enchantment on it if you plan on getting it upgraded. You might very well have to go get yourself a whole new set. That is definitely something to be aware of. That is annoying. So I'll just go and, well, this is preview server, so I can simply just buy another one of those helmets. Let's say right here with the Divinity regen. And if we want to go upgrade that one, of course, our inventory is full, of course. But there we go. We have that headpiece there. And let's get it upgraded. It doesn't have the enchantment in it, or should I say the armor reinforcement kit. We go, we buy that then, trading in the old one, and it does work. Okay, good. But it's not going to work when you have a reinforcement in it. At least that's right now on the previous server. I'm going to report this and hopefully it gets fixed. It better do. If not, which can always happen, don't stick any reinforcement kits in this gear if you do plan to get it on Mythic. So now we have the Mythic version and we can go and equip that right there. That should give me 20% more Divinity Performance Soul Weave regeneration. So just be aware again of the costs that is required in order to get these upgraded. Again, you need a ton. You need a ton of these Campbellton gems. That's like 18 MToS runs, completing all bosses in order to get that many. And then you need these brilliant Campbellton gems. You'll only need 3 of them, so just make sure you're hitting your weekly cap. And right now it's bugged that you don't guarantee obtain a brilliant gem. It should get fixed early March. That is just way later than the module came out. It's been so long since they got that fixed. I reported it like on the previous server and a dev contacted me about it. It's just the issue ended up a lot more deeper than they initially thought, and so they had to do a lot more work to get that fixed. But it should get fixed eventually. But right now, yeah, we've had to do quite a lot of MToS runs to actually hit the weekly cap of 3, and the weekly cap of 3 is specific only to one character, not all your characters. Anyway, hopefully this has been somewhat insightful to you guys with regards to the upgraded Dark Maidens gear, the Exalted version. A quick shout out to Gus Archer for the recommendation to make this video, and a special thanks to these channel members for their continued support. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.